All right, children, right now I'm going to show you how to calculate the labor force participation rate, and the unemployment rate. All right, first, for the labor force, it's going to be made up of two different groups. That's going to be made up of your employed workers, so people with a job, and that's going to be 95 million people that currently have a job. And then we're going to add to that are people that are unemployed and looking for work. You have to actually be looking for work to be counted as unemployed. And so we're going to add the 5 million there, and that comes out to 100 million people. All right, next, we're going to calculate the labor force participation rate. Let me type right. Oh, no. But we're going to calculate the labor force participation rate. So to get that, you take your labor force and divide it by the adult population that are capable of working. Okay, so what we got here, our labor force is made up of 100 million people. We just calculated that a minute ago. I'm going to bring it over here. All right, so labor force is going to be 100 million people divided by our adult population. We are going to not count the people that are incapable of working. Those could be people that are either old and retired, or maybe have some sort of disability, or children and stuff like that. So they're not going to count. And so we're going to do it out of this 200 minus the 50 that are incapable of working. So it's going to be 100 divided by 150 times 100, and that's going to equal 75%. 75% of the people in this economy, in the adult population, working age population, are going to be actually participating in the labor force. Okay, and then finally, I'm going to move this down so we can see it a little better. Finally, the most important one. So I'd say this and the unemployment rate are the two most important ones. So your unemployment rate is going to be calculated as unemployed divided by the labor force times 100. Not too tough. So we're going to come back down over here again. So if we go back to the top, our unemployed is going to be 5 million people. Remember, to be unemployed, you have to be without a job and actually looking for a job. It doesn't count if you're not looking for a job. And then we divide that by our labor force, which we already calculated up here as 100 million people. So 5 divided by 100 times 100 is going to come out to 5%. We're going to come down here to the bottom and start working on another example real quick. Oh, let me move that back up so we can see it though. Oh, never mind. I'm going to bring it all the way down then. All right. So now we're doing the same thing. So our labor force again is going to be our people that are employed. So people with a job, we have 80,000 people. And add to that are people that are unemployed. We have three types of unemployment here. It's broken it down. It's broken it down for you. That's by the different types of unemployment. They are all unemployed though. So we're going to have 10,000 frictionally unemployed, plus 5,000 structurally unemployed, plus 5,000 cyclically unemployed, and that's going to equal up to 20,000 people. So we add that together, and that's going to be 100,000. Labor force participation rate then is going to be that 100,000 people divided by our adult population. So we had 100,000 people that are in the labor force, plus another 100,000 that are not in the labor force. So that's going to be 200,000. And so that is, and then times 100, lo siento. And that is going to be our labor force participation rate, and it's going to be 50%. 100 is half of 200, so it comes out to 50%. Now we need to calculate just our natural rate of unemployment. So to do that, our natural rate of unemployment, again, is made up of people that are frictionally unemployed and structurally unemployed. So our natural rate of unemployment is going to be frictionally unemployed, frictionally plus structurally divided by labor force times missed time. Yeah, what is that? Okay, how do I undo that thing? Times 100. That was weird. I hit something on accident. All right, so frictionally unemployed are 10,000 people. I'll add to that our structurally unemployed, which was 5,000 people, divided by our labor force. So, well, first, I guess I'll equal that. What is that? 15,000 divided by the labor force, which we already got as 100,000 times 100, and that comes out to 15%. So our natural rate of unemployment is 15%. So even when we're at full employment in this economy, we expect 15% unemployment. Our actual unemployment rate then is going to be natural unemployment plus our cyclically unemployed divided by the labor force. Oops, I don't want a space there. I don't like the way that looked. Times 100. Oh, I hate it. Space. Okay, and so now we'll get that all up. So we had our natural unemployment, the amount of naturally unemployed people, so frictional plus structural unemployment was 15,000 plus, where'd my plus sign go? Plus these 5,000 people here that are cyclically unemployed. That equals 20,000 divided by our labor force, which was 100,000 times 100, and that's going to come out to 20%. So 20% of the people in this labor force are currently unemployed. That's 5% above the natural rate of unemployment. So to answer this last question, on this country's production possibility curve, would the country be operating on the curve or a point inside the curve? Well, it would be a point inside the curve. They would be operating at a point, oops, inside, can't type right now, curve, because they are experiencing cyclical unemployment, which is a recession. So they're in a recession, not because they have unemployed people, but specifically because they have cyclically unemployed people. If this was zero, the cyclically unemployed, then they would not be in a recession. They would be operating on the curve, even with this 15% natural rate of unemployment. Okay, so we'll keep talking about that over the next couple days. Have a great day.